Okay, again, everyone, nice to see you. It is time for maths today, and we're going to be continuing to think about bar charts, which is what we began looking at yesterday. Now, today we're going to do a little bit of drawing of bar charts, which you hopefully learned all about yesterday, but also some interpreting as well, which means reading bar charts and being able to understand the information that's shown on them. So if you've got some of that squared paper left over from yesterday, that will probably be really handy again today if you've got access to it. There's that link in yesterday's video where you can print off some squared paper. If you've got access to a printer, that'd be amazing. If not, just a bit of lined paper would actually be really handy still. Okay, so let's start off then with this. We've got favorite pizza toppings. So some people ask, what's your favorite pizza topping? Do you like cheese, tuna, ham, or pepperoni? How many people prefer pepperoni pizza? How many people chose them? So for this, you want to be looking across from that bar for pepperoni, follow your finger across the screen over to the numbers, and it's that y-axis, remember that one going up, Y to the sky. How many people prefer pepperoni pizza? That's the bar. We can follow that line across. It's 20. How many more people chose cheese than tuna? So for this, we're going to need to think about the difference here, aren't we? Because it's how many more people chose cheese than tuna. So a couple of options here, I would say. We could work out how many chose cheese, how many chose tuna, and then do a subtraction calculation. Or we could look at the difference and maybe count up or count down from there. That would work well as well. So cheese, well, that's 30. Tuna, that's 10. So we could have done 30 take away 10. We could have actually counted up there in fives, but in any case, it's 20. Oh, I'm sorry, you're going to need to forgive me. It's gone off the screen a little bit there. I can't read that last question. Oh, sorry about this. How many P something survey? I'm going to predict, I think that's maybe how many people did it in total. I think I've remembered that right. How many people did it in total? So we can count up all the bars in total, can't we? And we've got 30 plus 10, that's 40, plus 15, that's 55, plus 20, spot on. So we've got there 75. Okay. So we've looked a little bit at pictograms as well, and you've done a really good job with these pictograms. Here is a pictogram to show the number of people visiting an art gallery on different days of the week. So we've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And hopefully you're already thinking about what this little half symbol here is. What's this? Should we call this a picture frame maybe as it's an art gallery? What does half a picture frame represent then if a whole picture frame is worth 10? Hopefully you're thinking about that already. So pause the video here, have a good think, and tell me what we can see then. So tell me how many were on Thursday, how many on Friday, how many in total, how many more. See what things you can tell me about this pictogram. So we could say 30 people visited on Friday. We could say that Saturday was the busiest day. We could say there were 85 visitors overall at the weekend. We could have said there was 140 visitors in total. There's lots more we could have said as well. I'm sure you came up with some of your own too. Now, if we were going to plot this on a bar chart, what do you reckon? What's the problem with my y-axis there? We're not going to have enough, are we? So we can have some different numbers. Now, yesterday, we were only looking at bar charts where actually we were going up in ones. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But as we can see, sometimes we're not going to want to go up in ones because we don't really want to write out 1 to 60. That'll take us ages and you probably don't have enough room on your page. So in this case, we want instead to go up in a different amount each time. And this person has chosen tens as their jumps up each time, which I think is really sensible, isn't it? Because we've got multiples of 10 in our key. Now, what happens then when we need to go halfway between? Is it obvious what that is? Hopefully, yes. Okay, so it would end up looking a little bit like this. And as we've seen here, we do have some bars that would fall halfway in between. Now, there's no right or wrong way to do your intervals here on your y-axis. We could have gone up in fives. It could have said 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and so on. it would have been twice as tall, but it still would have represented the information in the right scale. Here are a couple more bar charts. Now, what's different in these ones than the ones we've seen so far? In these ones, they've flipped the axes, haven't they? All the ones we've seen so far, we've had our y-axis, that's going up, y to the sky, with our numbers, and our x-axis, remember, x is across, so it goes across. Our x-axis has showed whatever else it is, in this case, people. Now, is this one wrong then? Can we actually tell what the information is trying to say to us? So could you, for example, tell me how many points Amir scored in his tennis match? Yeah, we can, can't we? We can still read this, and so it's a perfectly acceptable bar chart. There's nothing to say it has to be going up. We can have them going out if we'd like to. That's completely fine. Now, this lady, Annie, I think. I scored the same number of points in tennis and basketball because my bars are the same size. Oh no, sorry, this must be Eva. Okay, so do we agree with Eva then? Have a look. Eva's saying, I scored the same number of points in tennis and in basketball because my bars are the same size. Do you agree with Eva? Pause the video here, have a chat, have a think. What do you reckon? Is she right or is she wrong? Let's have a look then. So Eva, in tennis, she scored 40 points. In basketball, she scored 20 points. So no, she didn't score the same amount of points. Now, even though her bars look exactly the same, we've got a very different scale on our x-axes in this case. On the tennis match one, we're going up in tens. On the basketball axes, we're going up in fives. And so that's just showing us that actually, even though the bars are the same, it's really important that we're looking at the scale and seeing what it tells us. A couple of other quick questions for you to read and interpret here. Who scored the same number of points in both games? And how many more points did Amir score in tennis than basketball? Have a go at those and come back to me when you're done. Okay, hopefully then we have spotted the person who scored the same. It was Annie. Annie scored 25 points in both games. Now that might be a bit confusing because Annie's bar on the right is so much bigger than Annie's bar on the left. But if we read that scale really carefully, we'll see that both are 25. How many more points did Amir score in tennis than in basketball? Well, let's check. In tennis, he scored 50. In basketball, he scored 10. So what's the difference there? We're going to need to do a subtraction calculation, aren't we? We're going to need to do 50 take away 10, and that gives us 40. Okay, it's time for you to have a go at these questions yourself now then. Once again, I'm sorry about this. It's one of those ones where it might require a little bit of backwards and forwards because it's hard to get a bar chart and the questions related to it on the same page. I'm sorry about that, but I think it's probably on balance better to do it that way than try to squeeze it all in on one tiny page, because those of you doing this on a phone, you'd have no chance seeing it, which you'd need to be zooming right in. So sorry, it's a bit fiddly today, but give this your best go and come back to me at the end for the answers. Okay, thanks for joining us. Here are the answers then. Obviously, where you're drawing your bars, you'll have done your own one on your squared paper or maybe your line paper if you've got it. Hopefully yours are looking similar to this. You can pause the video on the page that you need and check what you've got. Well done, everybody. It has been really, really good to see you getting stuck into this, and I hope you're enjoying this as well. This might be a really nice thing to have a bit of a practice of at home. Maybe you could do a bar chart of what colour books you've got on your shelf. You could do a bar chart of what toys you've got, anything you like. This could be a nice fun thing to practice at home. Now, I think I mentioned this yesterday, didn't I? But on Thursday's Zoom call, I am going to invite you. I will explain this more in Thursday's maths lesson, by the way, but on Thursday's Zoom call, I am going to invite you to conduct a survey if you're joining us. So what that will mean is you are going to come prepared with a question. So it might be, what's your favorite fizzy drink? What's your favorite chocolate bar? Something like that. We're going to get people to put their hands up and vote for particular things. And then you're going to use that information in your survey that we're hopefully going to do in Thursday's Zoom lesson if you're with us. We are going to use that then to turn it into all sorts of different charts and graphs and things. We're going to hopefully present your survey in loads of different ways. So get your thinking caps on ahead of Thursday. Okay, thanks everyone. I will see you tomorrow because your last lesson of the day is French with Mrs. Ritchie. Have a good rest of the day. Enjoy.